Hey, what's going on, brother?
What's happening, man? How are you today?
Oh man, I'm doing good. Hey, do you see that I got like this blue like tint on my face? Do you see that?
Yes, I do. I like the light. I didn't tell you. I do like the lighting today.
Do you like the lighting today?
I do.
I was about to, I got that blue tint, and they say that this actually makes the video look better. So I'm hoping that it does.
Are you putting lights in front of you too, or just on the side of you?
No, I've got my light, that we all have over here on the top, and I don't remember what they call that, but I do this like I can't remember, some kind of like cinematic nonsense. So it's right here. So that's my light there. But then over here, I've got a totally different light that's just got a blue gel in front of it. So it's got this blue gel that's trying to blind me right now. So if I look distracted from time to time, it's because I'm trying to like not be blinded so much. I'm like,
well, it's still better than that creepy old man look you used to have.
Is it better than that look?
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. I was going for just a little better than like the old
the creepy old man in the dark.
Going for a little bit better than that looks what I was going for. Just a grade above that one.
Just a tiny bit.
That's right. So, have you picked up any new pops lately?
Did. Well, I've got finally was happy that Funko finally started shipping my box that of the 8 pops that I have coming in that I bought from Black Friday. So I'm excited about that. And then I bought 2 more today, and I know you and I had talked about it. And
you mean the pins?
Yeah, you thought they were pins. And I had to check it. I had to check it because when I went to the description, I saw it said pop vinyl. I'm like, those are pops. They're not pins.
Hey, I just looked at the picture though. I have this whole like ADD thing that goes on with my brain. So I don't really like, if I can scan over words and look at pictures, that's what I do. So I kind of scan past all of that. I looked at the pictures, and if you look at those pictures, they look like pins.
They're flat looking. They're flat.
It wasn't until I said, no, those are pins. And I was like, I better go look to see what I'm saying. And I went, oh no, they're not neither. They're kind of cool. I mean, they're kind of cool.
Well, I showed it to my wife because you sent me that one about the noodle, and then I was like, oh, so I checked it out, and then I showed my wife the Mickey and Minnie gingerbread. She's like, oh, those are really, really cool. I like those. Get them. I'm like, okay. If the wife wants them, we get them. That's how it works.
Right. That's exactly how that works. What's that saying? Happy wife, happy life. There's a lot to be said about that.
Exactly. After almost, was it where were we at? Close? No, 16 years of marriage.
16 years.
We've been together 21 years. That you'd think I'd learn that completely by now, but I still screw that up from time to time.
Yeah, I think we all still screw that up from time to time. That's just one of those things, a part of being a male. That whole book they made about women from Venus and we're from Mars, or something to that effect. It's kind of like my wife likes to give me like signals. She likes to like give me signals, and I'm not real good at taking signals or hints. Hints is what I'm
horrible. I tell my wife all the time, if you're going to give a hint, just
say it.
I'm not getting it.
Just come out and tell me, because I'm one of those people that you could be sitting across from me, kicking at me, trying to give me a hint, and I'm going to be like, hey, what do you want?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Yes, no.
Yeah, that's right. You got to come out and tell me. So I did pick up the Roodles today.
The Roodles, it looks really, really cool though. That is a cool looking. I like that whole the cup of noodle look. It's kind of like those icon ones. It's different.
Yes, it's very pop culture, like Japan, Chinese pop culture, the original like pop culture. I missed the first one that they come out with. So they come out with one that came out on. No, that one came out of Hot Topic. I grabbed that one just like last week, and that's why when I seen the one today, I said, "Oh, I want that one." I did not know that they were going to limit that to 3,000 pieces. Had I had known that, I mean, I would have went out there more than I did, but I just didn't know that. I mean, but it also sold out really quick. I mean, that one, I bet that one was sold out in under 2 minutes.
I know we haven't hit the chat yet, but this is funny.
What's that one say? That one's
Wayne, my wife is cursing you out since she couldn't get it.
Well, look, I'm sorry. I did not go after that one because I thought it was a limited piece. And that was one of those interesting, like after it sold out and everybody was on Instagram and you were getting the whole, like they were getting the whole backlash that the bots stole everything. And you know how we act when we don't get the stuff off the Funko site that we thought that we were entitled to get, and it doesn't happen. So I immediately have to go on there and start reading the comments, and I just didn't realize that it was at 3,000 pieces. I mean, I just did not know that, and they didn't put that out there. So what we need to do is we need to tell Funko that they did something right.
See, I'm wondering about the gingerbread ones too, because the gingerbread ones also have a sticker on that says limited edition.
I don't know.
So I'm not sure if they're limiting the quantity on that one either, because I've seen the Funko Shop stickers, but not all Funko Shop stickers say limited edition.
No, not all of them say limited edition. And right now they went back to the holiday sticker, which is what they had into Cyber Monday last year. So it has the green and red, kind of like a Christmas tree ornament. Super cool. I wish they would have done a Cyber Monday mystery box again, but they didn't. I'm kind of confused.
But last year's Cyber Monday box didn't really sell all that well because they were still selling it into freaking July.
I know, but there was people like me that really liked that. That box, you know, when you say that you get your Marvel core boxes and you like, or BAM boxes, I can't remember which one it was you were talking about not too long ago. But you don't watch any other channel that opens those because you're waiting to see what it is yourself. Mm-hmm. Well, the same thing with that Black Friday box. I refused to watch any other channels for like 3 weeks because I said I'm not going to watch them open it. I don't want to know what's in it. I'm going to wait until it gets physically in my hands to discover what's in that box. And so I feel like I missed that part of it. I mean, I understand why they didn't do it. It didn't sell that great. They held on to them forever. And then people like me cried when they tried to sell them individually, because there was a while there they were like, hey, we'll just sell them off individually. And people like me jumped up and down and said, no, I had to buy the whole set. Why are they getting to buy them in onesies? So I understand why they didn't do it, but I just wish they would have. I wish they'd have done something.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, I get that all the time, especially with, like I said, what you said with the band boxes and also collector core. Like I'm avoiding collector core videos right now because I have my box in. I plan on filming that video this weekend, but I'm excited for that one. And then of course you drop the one thing on me, you know, the teaser that I'm like, God. When I saw the post, I'm like, damn it, Wayne. I always sorry. The part about the end of my video is releasing that card. At the end, go to find out what the next one is. And I'm like, all of a sudden you release a image. I'm like, damn it.
All right. So anytime it comes to the BAM boxes of the collector core, you don't want me to do that, is what you're saying. I've got you.
You can do it all you want.
I've got you.
I try not to see them.
I got you. I'll hold back on those.
Because for me, you know, you know as well as I do, the mystery box, opening up a mystery box, you know, it's all about the you know, the expression, the you know, surprise of what you're getting, and that's why I try to save it. That's why I try to avoid any videos that have to do with it, because I know a lot of people get the collector core. It's just you know, part of it, but you know, I try to avoid it as much as possible.
Oh, so in my defense, when I was posting that, I was looking at it thinking, I'm pretty sure he said it was the BAM box, and so I posted it anyways. But I'll hold back on him. I got you. I've got you on those, but that is an interesting box that's coming up. It's not, I don't know that it's something that I would get into. I'm having a hard time with the lead that I'm not even going to say.
Well, I like what they're doing with this, where, you know, a lot of times they seem to go off of movies that are coming out, or, you know, they're going like I said, this month was going back to the Endgame movie. But I like how like they did the zombie box, and now that next one's going to be the Lucha Libre box or whatever it's called.
You've said that better than I've been able to yet.
But I like how they're going after the specific genres, because for me, like, when I got the Marvel Zombie box, I mean, I don't keep all my collector core items. I use a lot of them in giveaways or something of that nature. But those two zombie ones, those were not leaving my shelf at all. So I was like, and I thought about it for you. I was like, oh, maybe I'll send them the Deadpool. And then I look at it again. I'm like,
no, you keep that in your collection. You keep it. What one day? Look, this is how I look at a lot of things. One day I will be sitting out there somewhere, and somebody will have this thing for sale on a shelf in some like shop somewhere for the price of every other pop, and I'll grab it then. And so I don't, you know, that's kind of why I stay out of the secondary market. At some point I'll find it somewhere.
Oh, one other big item this week, and I will, you know, to be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to use it in a video, if I'm going to give it away. I don't really have an idea. To be honest, I don't have any real connection, like a guy in the chat of Chase's Kingdom. I did order one of the pop, and you know about this because I sent you images right after I ordered.
Oh yeah, it's such a beautiful pop.
That was the red Mandalorian, because you were doing your chat yesterday, And it reminded me because I was talking to Chase in my Disney live stream.
Such a beautiful pop.
I did on Monday because he was waiting to get it. He was doing it on Monday. And to be honest, I forgot all about it. So when you talked about it, I'm like, oh, let me go on my red card and see if I can order it real quick. Boom, 2 minutes later, it was ordered. And then I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and try to order another one. I did it later that night. They're gone. All gone.
Look, that goes back to what I say. Just look, if you're going to do it, just go ahead and do it. I mean,
I might even use the red Mando to say, who wants to trade a Carnage Black Light for a red Mando?
I happen to know somebody who has one of those. I know somebody who has one of those Carnage Black Light pops. Might even have two of them, as a matter of fact.
We'll trade for black lights.
Like I said, I happen to know somebody that might have those. So,
and I do agree with you, Pop T. JKL's reaction. To be honest with you, my reaction when I saw the video of him opening that up was like, dude, I'm instantly jealous. Instantly jealous.
What did JKL open up?
Remember, I think last week you said that him and Pop and Duos exchanged pops, but they went mystery pops. They exchanged pop, and Jake and Pop and Duo sent him the Blacklight Carnage.
Oh, it's a nice one.
And I was like, oh man, I am so jealous right now.
That is a nice one. That is a nice one. So here recently, I've been picking up like two of what I think is going to be really hot when I have a chance. So I have a few of them sitting on the back burners right now. That I have a few of them. So I have the Miles Morales street art right now. That I've got two of those. I got two of the Carnages. You'll have to let me know when that red Mando comes in.
It comes in on the 16th. I know that.
I have a few of them just sitting around, just for those kind of situations.
But yeah, I definitely that one I want really bad, and I've been waiting for that one. But I don't know. We might have to talk when that red Mando comes in. Although I may not want to open up the box, because if I open up the box, I may actually fall in love with it. So
that's a sweet one. That is a sweet one.
We'll see. But again, you also know my feeling with Chrome Pops. I like the fact that they blacked the visor.
Oh yeah,
and it didn't go full chrome, but I still don't care for Chrome Pops. They're just not my thing.
Look, it's not everybody's thing, and to be honest with you, there's a side of me that says that they went too far with them, kind of like I feel like with the Venomized stuff, right? But then there's that other side of me that looks at that red one and says, "Oh man, that's pretty hot," or that looks at the all black one they did, and I can't remember who they did like this all black chrome one with, and I thought, man, that's pretty hot. I mean, so every once in a while they come out with one, and I'm like, I can dig that one. Yeah. Same thing with the Venomized stuff. You've heard me say that I hate the Venomized stuff, but I found a few of them, and I'm like,
get them.
I can get down with that one. I mean, so I think there's an exception to everything, right? I mean, so it happens every once in a while. You want to do a chat room shout out?
Yes, I do actually want to comment on one real quick.
Let these guys know we're not ignoring them.
Is Chrome, and I do agree, but again, that one I would give an exception because Colossus is Chrome to begin with.
So see, that's what I'm saying. There's always an exception.
There is some exceptions to that.
Always an exception.
All right, let's get back to this chat shout out. So we got Jesse Lou Comics, and he's loving the WayneTech Experience live.
Experience.
And let's see who else we got. We got Chase's Kingdom, of course. Chase's Kingdom in the chat. We've got our friend OTT with G. Who else we got in here? We got our good buddy over in the UK, Andy Roberts. What's happening? We got Vinyl Figure Fan. What's happening? And then of course we've got our good friend Collecting with Red. Konnichiwa over in Japan, K Titus. Who else we got? I know I've seen a few other ones. We got Pop Teat. What's happening, Pop Teat? I was trying to catch you guys' live the other day, and I ended up getting sidetracked, and unfortunately I wasn't able to make it. Plus, I like to toy with you guys a little bit anyways. We have Southern Comic Geek. What's going on? I know he was just over in JB's chat. I jumped into his live just briefly to talk some comics and talk up the live stream. And I think we are caught up now. I know there's more people watching that haven't made comments, and that's okay too. I'm just not able to shout out to you because I don't know.
That's right. We can't give them a shout out if they're not like commenting over there.
No, but that's okay.
Got to make sure you're throwing a comment over there, guys. Hey, everybody, how are y'all doing? So did you go on their Instagram to see what people were saying? That's become one of my favorite things to do. If you're not doing that, you have to go over to their Instagram and go to the picture and just look at the comments people put on there. That's seriously, and I don't know why that's become one of my favorite things to do.
I don't think I've ever paid attention to the Instagram comments, to be honest.
Oh yeah, they're hysterical. I wrote some of them down, but I'll let you go over there and look at them real quick. I think you're gonna like those. But while you're doing that, did you see that Target is going to have a Bumblebee that is dropping there soon? So it's going to be a different Bumblebee than
we talking Transformers Bumblebee.
We are talking Transformers Bumblebee. Are you into the Transformers at all?
I like the Transformers. I am a big fan of them. I'm still unsure of the pops.
What do you mean you're unsure of the pops?
I don't know. I'm not digging the look of them, to be 100% honest.
Well, there's. Go ahead.
They're different.
They are different. There's really only one of them that I think that I'm going to ever go after, and it's Optimus Prime. But I'm only going to go after Optimus Prime if they do him in a metallic. That's it. That's the only way. That's the only way that I ever dedicate myself to go after Optimus Prime is if I see this guy in a metallic.
I had to hit this up. Fabian, hey guys, just popping in and say what's up. Can't hear nothing because I'm watching Mando with the TV at full blast. Hope everyone have a good weekend. Yes, I will. I'll be checking that out probably in between the chats today.
Yeah, that's when we get off of here is when I go and watch that, and then I actually watch it again in the morning.
JKL, what's up, bud? I know you're busy tonight, so I appreciate you stopping by.
Hey, JKL, how are you doing? It is good to see you, even if you are just stopping by.
So I don't know. I since with Funko though lately, I've been going to their Twitter more than I have their Instagram, because even their Instagram, I mean, they're really, I don't know. I haven't been feeling it.
They abandoned it just like they did their blog. You know, their blog at one point. I think we've talked about this.
They completely abandoned the blog.
Yeah, the blog was where you used to go to get your information. So then they abandoned that and went to Instagram, and now they're kind of starting to abandon Instagram to go to Twitter. I don't really know what the rhyme or reason is, other than to try and make you follow them on every one of them.
What is this? And so I need to show this because I have no idea.
Yes, absolutely.
And I must have this. You know, you see that picture or something, you're like, I got to move this overlay.
So
I need to have this right here, and I don't know what this is.
So that's going to be Bruce Banner as the Hulk, and it's from one of the parts of the movie. I was showing that one off yesterday. I think it's a new movie that they came out with. I don't really know the part
Bruce Banner's only been in I don't know.
The part that scares me about that is that's going to be like a $25 pop that they're going to try and sell off as a $25 pop when it should just be a $15 or $11 pop because they're going to call it a movie.
I can only remember two scenes of him ever in a restaurant, and that was in Endgame when they were, but he was also the green. He was like the mixture between Bruce Banner and the Hulk. And then there was one of them after Avengers 1 where they were all in the coffee shop. Oh,
did you figure out what scene he was from? Because I don't have a clue, if we're being honest.
I'm thinking, see how it's got these lines in there.
So
I bet anything is going to be an interlocking one. I think it's going to continue. I think this is a shawarma scene.
Right. So the Southern Comic Geek over put a comment, said that it's from the end game where they were all at the restaurant eating shawarma. So you're right. That's it, and I bet that they all link together. That's what you're seeing.
No, the shawarma scene is the end credits for Avengers 1.
Well, it makes sense, right, that they're going to link together because we know that Amazon just did the whole where they all link together in some big circle. So, I mean, it only makes sense that they're about to do another one that all links together, and you've got to order them all exclusively through Amazon, and then you'll end up with a piece that's too big to put on a shelf by the time you're done so that you'll never display it unless you display it in the center of your kitchen table. I mean, it sounds like an awesome rabbit hole to go down.
I didn't jump on the other interlocking one, and
I didn't.
To be honest with you, I don't know why. But this one, I may have to jump on this one because that shawarma scene, and then what people don't realize too is if you go back and watch the shawarma scene, and it's really about a 10 or 15 second scene, but there's an image of Cap, and you can't really see Cap's face because the whole scene was done way after filming, so they had them all come back and do it. And the reason you do not see Cap's face is because Chris Evans was actually in the middle of filming Snowpiercer, which he had full beard in Snowpiercer and everything, and he couldn't cut it because he was still filming that. But they got him to come back and do this little scene, so that's why his face, you can't see his actual face.
Right, they're trying to hide the fact that he had that beard going on. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, look, it's going to be awesome, but I could see them doing that again. I mean, if I had to guess, that's exactly what they're doing. Just looking at the floor, I didn't even see that yesterday until you pointed it out that it's going to be another Lincoln Log style.
Yeah, it's going to be
Funko.
a Lincoln action.
Yeah,
this one I'm going to jump in, and it makes sense because Amazon gets a lot of those linking items that they continue.
Yeah.
Which you're probably going to be another set of 6.
Yeah, they're just too big. Look, I would jump on that bandwagon, but where are you going to display it? You're just not. You can't put it on your shelf. I mean, most of the time it's going to be too wide for the shelf. So even if you could get it on your shelf, you're not going to be able to get it on there. I just couldn't find a logical way of displaying it other than, like I said a second ago.
Have to put it right up here, stick it right up above the back. Well, again, like I was telling Wayne, let me go back to this one right here. I was telling Wayne, of course, you guys know I have my box, and there's a reason I won't zoom in on the box because I'm not the greatest carpenter in the world. But my neighbor is a very good carpenter, and I just recruited him today because I started looking at my Back to the Future pops, going, man, those would look good out of the box, but I need a shelf. So I'm like, I texted him. I said, dude, how much would you charge me for a light up box? And he goes, just the material. So I'm like, I've already recruited for more because I'm not paying $50 for a Funko shelf that says Funko on it. I'll get my wife to cut out. If I really want, she has a Cricut machine. I'll get her to cut out the Funko logo and we'll just slap it on there.
He said, I'll just put a Cricut.
Do that.
Hey, look, that's a really good idea, though.
Oh, actually, that is a good idea. Even in the back of this box,
Yeah.
I could get her to do a vinyl
Yeah.
Funko in the background to light up.
I would put.
That's a good idea.
I would put Mr. Techbot back there if it was me. Like if,
that's even better idea.
If I did it, I would put like WayneKo back there. I mean, if that was me, that's what I would do. I'd put Techbot back there, and and then you've always got your brand sitting back behind you.
And I got another buddy that's got one of those laser cuts. I can get. They've been talking about making me an acrylic one that you just put a light on it and it lights up. I got some ideas.
So Pop the Heat says, Wayne, what about your display before you go down the stairs? So I think you're talking about the China cabinets that I had all of my sodas in here recently. I kind of got evicted from that display case. So every year my house turns into this. I'm trying to think of a department store that's going to best match what my house turns into. So every year those pop-up Christmas stores that kind of just show up in department stores or in malls, they're just pop up and they just they probably have 100 trees in them and they have Christmas decorations and ornaments everywhere. That's my house. So every year that cabinet gets filled up with probably about 200 Santas that are far more expensive than any Funko I have sitting here. So that's what goes in those. So I got evicted from those here recently, and I've just decided that I'm not going to get evicted from them again.
You ask for wall space and you get evicted.
It's okay though. I got my wall space. I just got evicted from my China cabinets. Hey, but look, I knew that when I put my stuff in there that it was only a matter of time before I was getting evicted anyways, that it was just a temporary fix to a problem. Displays in it. Chase, I am going to look into those back cases, but I found one of them on one of those Hobby Lobby or something like that. I found one of those and it was just as expensive as what Funko had going on. So I don't know if maybe they went up in price because they felt like they could, or maybe I just looked at the wrong place. You'll have to throw a comment over there and let me know.
Sorry, I just had to show this just to take it off a little bit.
This Mando is so hot. I don't normally look at pops and I'm like, oh, that one I want that one. I'll be watching the release date on that one. I'll be watching it hard because look, that's just a hot pop. That's a really hot pop.
I just noticed that. I didn't even realize that. It's going to be available for non-members in spring 2021.
Oh, they're so messing with me. They're non-members in spring 2021.
So if you're a red card, you got it early, and then everyone else not till the spring.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Oh, so Chase says they run a half off sale. I'll have to keep my eyes out on that. I will have to definitely keep my eyes out on that. So recently, JKL kind of turned me on to this place where I go and I find these leaks and stuff like that. So we did the whole collector's core, and I kind of like ruined that one for you, so I apologize for that. Have you seen that they're going to be coming out with a lot of Seinfeld pops? Did you watch Seinfeld? Is that something that you're into?
I wasn't an advent, I wasn't, a total watcher of Seinfeld, but I like Seinfeld. If that makes any sense, I if the reruns are on, I'll watch it. It was one of the weirdest shows I ever had because you didn't really. You could see it go, I'm not sure about it. But once you started watching it, you could binge watch the shit out of it. It's just kind of like Friends.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. It was one of them that I never went out of my way to watch. But if it was on, I would sit down and watch it. So, I mean, it's one of them that I want to maybe get a Kramer. I know that they showed like 8 or 9 leaks that they were coming out with, and then they showed this whole t-shirt combo. They don't really show them though. It's kind of like they just give you the names of what's coming out in the leak. So it's sometimes I think it's iffy, but I think that the source that those have come from are pretty solid. Pop the Heat, have a good one, bud. Have a good one. So I think the source that they came from are pretty good. Bearded Barbarian says he can't wait to get Seinfeld in. Look, I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are just like the Bearded Barbarian, that when those release, they're going to be going after them. And I don't know, have they released Seinfeld pops before?
I think this is the first time, to be honest with you.
Is this the first one? Because I was kind of wondering that because the wave was so big, it made me think that maybe it was going to be the first time that they had come out with them. Did you get a chance to pull that picture up of Roodles is what they called him? Instead of calling him Oodles, because the other ones are called Oodles, they called him Roodles. So, some of the comments,
a rooster.
Yeah, you have to read some of the comments on that though, because some of the comments are just hysterical. And I kind of like to read some of the like decent comments, and then I like to read like some of them where people just got upset.
The spicy chicken noodle soup.
Now, I think that we should all give Funko credit where credit is due when it comes to this one, because they didn't tell everybody that it was a 3,000 piece set. They knew that if they said it was a 3,000 piece set, that they were going to get lots of bots and lots of everything were going to get involved to try and scoop up as many of those as they absolutely could. So I think that we really need to recognize the fact that they were trying to get it in your hands without getting people to sticker shop, right? Is basically, I guess, what we want to go with that. They were stopping the whole people who would only want it because it was a 3,000 piece set.
They were talking about bots buying it up, and
yeah, well, and that tends to be like where we go immediately, right? We immediately go to the bots got it, and that's just not totally fair.
Yeah. I think I'm at a point with the whole bots conversation, to be 1,000% honest, that yes, the bots are going to be part of the game.
Yep.
And in fact, if we're going to count it, the bots are part of the circle of life of Funkos. We just need to accept that. We just need to try to take our chance to get them, whether we get them. And again, I'm at the point where if I get it, cool. If I don't, I will find another way. I'll get it eventually, because half the fun of. To me, sometimes half the fun of the Funkos is the hunt.
Right. Eventually, like I was saying earlier, somewhere you'll be somewhere in some place at some time, and you'll look at it and go, oh, there's that one I was looking for. And you'll grab it. So, but to say that I read what he said about the Brady Bunch. I was ignoring that nonsense. My instigating friend, the Bearded Barbarian, and Chase has a valid point. You guys need to hit that like button. Hit that like button
down there, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button.
I think that it's unfair though to constantly say that it's the bots, right? It's the bots. With 3,000 pieces selling out in 2 minutes, that just doesn't seem that far-fetched, right? And then this is what I think happened with this one. When initially, before they announced that it was 3,000 pieces, there was only about 5 or 10 of them on eBay for sale. You could scroll down the list and run out. And that doesn't normally happen. Before they released it was a 3,000 piece set. Now, once they released that it was a 3,000 piece set, I think they turned people into resellers. Suddenly, people turned themselves into resellers because they said, oh, no, it's only 3,000 piece set. I'm going to sell mine on eBay. I'm convinced that's what happened because initially when I went on eBay, there was 5, maybe 10. That was it. After they released how many was on there was page after page after page after page of them. So it just tells me that a lot of people picked them up and they were
But you got to think of it all. I agree with you. A lot of people become instant resellers and stuff like that. But that's just like me with the Mando, the red Mando. Do I have? I mean, I know Chase is a guy that's got to have all the Mandos. Do I have a strong association with that Mando? No, not really. It's not one that I said, that I was like with the Avengers one, I have to have it. It wasn't really on it. I got it because one, I was able to get it, and two, I was like, well, I can do this multiple ways. I can use this as a trade. I could use this as a giveaway. Maybe I'll do a Patreon giveaway. Who knows? To me, I knew it was going to be a hot item, so I figured, if I had the ability to get it right now, why not?
But the Mandalorian, yeah, that's definitely one that you just pick up. That's a cool pop, though. I mean, that's a really cool pop. The fact that I think they did a good job with that one. I've kind of been on the whole hating thing because of the red card, but the red Mandalorian, the red card, look, it only makes sense that they made him red.
And I think they're going to start doing, because that was so successful. I think they're going to start doing it more.
Did I get it? Yes, I did manage to get this one, but I don't manage to get all of them. So I missed and I can't remember which one it was. I actually missed one before this. So I'm on like a 50-50 right now on when they release them. Do I get them or not? And
Isla, what's going on? I've never seen him online, but hey, welcome.
So I did get this one. I didn't become an instant reseller. It's not going to go in there. It's going to go with my other one. And it's just the start of my noodle collection. But I kind of like these noodles. They remind me of the designer plastics. I mean, you don't see the designer plastics a lot with Funko, and I feel like they ventured over into the scene. And I'm real curious to find out who the artist is with this one.
Although, talk about artists. Did you see those freaky looking pops that Japanese artist had put out recently?
No, I didn't. What did he put out?
Oh, those things are freaky. Let me see if I can bring it up.
No, I somehow missed that one. I didn't. I think that's in designer plastics, and why I like the designer plastics as much as I do is because they're artist driven. I mean, you have people out there like Ron English that is just a beast when it comes to sculpting stuff, and I guess if you want to look at clay work, is just playing with clay work.
Oh, mind you,
it's not.
For all you guys out there that's been talking about this forever, it's releasing on the 7th. It's going to go fast.
Where is it releasing at on the 7th?
I believe, of course, I think it may be on Disney Shop. It may be releasing on, but it's in a Disney exclusive. So you can only get it through Disney. And I don't even have a hookup for this, so I'm going to be looking for it myself because this is the first time ever you have a Walt Disney Funko Pop. Just saying.
So
this thing is gonna be hot.
Going back to you said that they just shipped your Black Friday stuff. Were you actively going after that Funko Freddy?
I didn't, not until I saw it, and I was like, oh, I think that. I mean, I think he's gonna be worth anything? No, because they're probably putting way too many of them out there. But I just thought he looked cool. To be honest, I mean, it's a Christmas related. I thought he looked cool, so I'm like, if they're gonna give it to me for free, I mean, it gives me an extra excuse to buy more pops.
Now, is this your first Funko Freddy?
No, this is technically my second, but it'll be my currently only one on my shelf. The only Funko Freddy I ever had was that Funko Freddy dressed up as Genie that I sold for a number that I couldn't turn down.
Right. Well, I mean, that happens from time to time. That hasn't happened to me. I don't really have any pops that are worth anything, but that happens from time to time.
It was a good number, and I was like, you know what? I can't turn it down for that. It is what it is. These are the ones I'm talking about.
Oh, so I guess I did see these, but I was so confused about like what they are that I quickly blew over them.
He's a comic artist. I looked into it afterwards. I'm like, especially this one right here. This one looks like something of Nightmares. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and he's a comic artist in Japan, and he does more like horror type comics and stuff like that, almost like a Twilight Zone-esque comic. But man, when I saw this one, I mean, these ones, the rest of them are like, okay, whatever. This one right here, I will never have in my collection because that is just a freaky looking pop.
I tend to agree with you, and I think that's why I blew straight over them when I seen them, because I thought, man, these things are really weird looking. Especially the one in the bottom right. If I'm looking at it from my angle, that one's super weird. The one with the two heads is super weird. Yeah. They're just really weird. But I wonder if he's the Jim Lee over there versus here.
This is the same guy. Remember that one we weren't sure of in the New York Comic Con with the two candles on his head?
Right, but I wonder if this is
And
like the Jim Lee of Japan,
could be.
right?
I mean, it's Crunchyroll. Everything Crunchyroll is more or less Japanese anime stuff like that. From what I could tell, the images I've seen of all these items, it comes off of like a comic strip.
Look,
In fact, the one man who could probably tell us something about it is Kate Titus. If you've never heard
that's
about
right.
it.
Fed, how are you doing, brother? It is good to see you. So, I I like it when they go to an artist-driven style. So, when they were doing like the Jim Lee stuff with the Jim Lee Superman, the Jim Lee Batman, I tried to gobble up every one of the Jim Lee series that I could because I love to see like the artist-driven pop. So, I kind of want them now because they're artist-driven, but I'm still not going to go after them because I think they look super creepy and I'd be afraid they're going to come to life and chase me around my house or something like that. So I might have nightmares about stuff like that. So I don't ever see that happening. Just
Sorry,
don't.
I just got to check this out from what Chase is OTT is saying. It's like it's possibly on Disney Shop for tonight.
What is possibly on Disney Shop for tonight?
The Walt Disney Funko.
Oh, the Walt Disney Funko is possibly coming on there tonight. Yet, I guess earlier when you were talking about the Disney stuff and you had picked those up, I guess I don't really collect Disney stuff, I guess is a better way of putting it. I know that there's like lots of Disney stuff out there to collect, and people that collect Disney stuff have a cult-like following when it comes right down to it.
Oh, it's big. It's huge.
Yeah. I mean, I have just never personally gotten into it. Now, if you talk to my mom, on the other hand, she has every Disney VHS ever made, and then she has every Disney DVD that goes with that ever made. I mean, so if you talk to my mom, she's really into the Disney stuff. I'm just really not. There's just so much of it too. I mean, it just doesn't stop. It goes on for days. And until here recently, I didn't even know Disney owns as much as they did until I got Disney Plus, and then realized that Disney has their hands in just about everything.
Pretty much.
I mean, just about everything. So
I'm not seeing it, but I will have to keep an eye on it. I know it's coming out soon. I heard it was supposed to be on the 7th. Was when they were supposed to start releasing.
So Silverhaired said that they're only supposed to be releasing it to the Downtown Disney. That actually sounds right to me. I mean, that sounds legit. Now it might not be, but that sounds legit to me. That you're only going to see it drop in the stores versus the online.
It's possible. There are rumors. Because of course that is Disneyland's pop because it's after the 65th anniversary. However, and I'm going to scroll back up to this just so people have reference to what we are talking about. Where is it? There it is. It's this Walt Disney one. Now they are releasing two different styles, but the same. I think it's the same exact castle in the back. One was just with Walt, and then one is going to be with Mickey. But two different versions. But the Walt one is going to be the one that everyone's going after. But I have heard rumors, and I'm trying to find out when exactly it is. I believe they're actually going to be selling them over here in Orlando at Disney Springs, even though Disneyland, because Disneyland's closed. Everything except for Downtown Disney.
So everything in California is closed. Mm-hmm. So they're going to bring it over to y'all. Initially, that wasn't coming to you, though, was it? No. That was the only one that was coming to Florida was going to be the Mickey Mouse, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard was the Mickey Mouse. Now, because with so much things being closed, especially California even putting in big restrictions to where I don't even think Downtown Disney is going to be open this weekend. I think they moved all those product over here to Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them doing that, but I could also see them just kind of leaving it there until it opened back up. I mean,
so OTG just said that the Mickey one was released already, so everyone's been waiting for the Walt.
Right. Well, I thought that we had this conversation before, me and you, not on a live, but it just in a conversation in general. And you had told me that one was only going to California, and then the Mickey one was coming to y'all. And I know that the Mickey one's already been released, right? I mean, it's been released forever ago, and I guess I just thought that Walt was released already too. I mean, so I guess I'm kind of surprised that he wasn't released with them.
Now, like I said, they knew that was going to be big. In fact, you can go on to eBay right now. Of course, you can go on for anything, and people are already trying to sell it for ridiculous numbers.
Well, I mean, look, in all fairness, people that have bots are spending an outrageous amount of money to have the bots, so they got to find something to latch a hold of and sell. So I could see them like latching a hold of that one, something serious. There is a Mickey though right below that one that is from a different country.
Yeah, now, this is the Thailand one.
I'm going to ask everybody real quick if anyone can tell me how to get my hands on that. Now,
It already sold out.
did it really? How do you get the ones from foreign countries like this? So every once in a while they come out with a Jollibee or one of those.
The Playhouse exclusives. It's I've gotten some Playhouse exclusives from mystery boxes and stuff like that before, but I don't know if they you can go straight to their website or whatnot. Oh wait, no, this one. There was another one I read. Sorry, there was another one I read because I think they're starting to do Mickey's with a lot of different countries.
Right.
It's going to be like their Epcot edition. Now, I'm actually kind of hoping a little bit. I know it's Playhouse exclusive. I'm hoping Disney's going to get some of these and maybe start releasing them in Epcot. That's my hope.
You think that they'll release the Thailand one in Epcot? That's a possibility. I guess I didn't think about that because Epcot's all about being all around the world, right? So that's a huge possibility. So they come out with the Jollibees, right? And I've yet to find a Jollibee, even though that I want a Jollibee, and I'll pick him up one day at one of the high end stores where they're asking $40 for him. But that's neither here nor there. So one day I'll manage to grab one. How do people get these when they come out in different countries?
Baby and Epic Zombie. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, of course, it looks like you can just go to on this. It says www.playhouseth.com, and maybe you can buy it on there. I don't know if the money exchanges well, or I just don't know a lot about it, to be honest with you. I've never done it, but that's a pretty cool looking pop. I'll give them that.
Well, I know that we got some European friends that are in the chat, I think, unless everybody's left already. So I'm kind of hoping somebody can tell me over there. And especially, I'm going to tell you who would be good at telling me right now would be K Titus, because I'm sure he picks up some in the States that he can't get in Japan, right? So I'm kind of curious as to how that works. Is there a way to go to a website in a foreign country and then convert your money over and then have them ship it to you? I mean, how exactly going on? How exactly would that go down? I mean, there has to be a way to do that. I mean, there just has to be. There just has to be.
But I do want to go back, and I know I'm going to bring it back out real quick. I wanted to actually comment on something that Bearded had made a comment on, but and you and I talked about this briefly. It says at some point they could buy HBO Max. They are struggling. Now, are you meaning that HBO Max is struggling, or do you mean that Disney is struggling? Because if you mean HBO Max is struggling, you are strongly mistaken, my friend. Yes. And we are going to me and actually tonight, Chase's Kingdom, we're going to go in more detail and talk about this tonight. But there was huge news this week.
Huge news.
Huge.
It was pretty big.
This is I think it's is it? No, it's not Sony. Can't remember. But the people who did Wonder Woman. What's the brand that did Wonder Woman? Why can't I remember this right now? Who did Wonder Woman?
It wasn't Universal Studios. Was it Universal? No, I don't think it was Universal. It wasn't Universal because whoever it was made the deal with HBO that they're releasing like everything on the HBO, which is going to be devastating, I think, for them if we're being honest. If we're being honest, I think it's going to devastate them. I mean, I don't know. We're going to see. That's one of them we'll have to see. I don't know how that's going to play out for them. I don't know how releasing things in the theater and on.
Anyways, I can't remember, but it's the same company that owns HBO and HBO Max. I know it is DC Bearded that's did Wonder Woman, but I'm talking about the distributor. But the huge news this week was that all of the movies, all the 2021 movies, I think it is Universal. It may actually be.
It could be. I couldn't really remember.
But all their movies are going to release simultaneously, both in whatever theaters are left, because as we know, Regal is completely closed up. AMC is about to go bankrupt.
Yeah, I think AMC's going right behind them.
So we don't know really. Excuse me. We don't know when everything comes back what theaters are still going to be open. So they decided that simultaneously, at the same time, they are going to release the movies in theaters for the people that want that theater experience, but they're also going to release these movies on HBO Max,
I
which
think
is huge.
I think it's a horrible move, though.
I think it's a fantastic move.
Well, this is why I say it's a horrible move. The theaters actually pay for the rights to play those movies, right? I mean, so they pay a little bit extra money to get that into their theater, to draw people into it, to buy popcorn and Cokes and whatever it is
Time
theaters
Warner,
sell.
there we go. Thank you, Jesse Lou Comics. Time Warner.
But the other side to that is, why would I leave my house to go to the theater if I could just sit at my house and watch it? So I think it's going to be devastating on.
Well, Time Warner is going to get their money one way or the other, so it doesn't matter. The only thing they're cutting out is that middleman of the theater. Now there are going to be the true theater folks. They're going to say, "Well, I need that theater experience." Now, granted, I give you, there's some movies that are just going to look fantastic in that theater rather than at home. But for a person like me, I've got 2 small kids. I don't get a chance to go to the theaters and watch the movies like I used to. So if I can go watch that in the movie, I will. So my hope on this is that if Time Warner just announced this, and they've also announced that Wonder Woman 1984 is going to release on Christmas Day on HBO Max, which I'm actually considering getting HBO Max now. That Disney this week is supposed to, or next week is supposed to be having big meetings, and possible rumor of Black Widow finally going to Disney Plus. So the rumor, a lot of times they all follow each other. So if Time Warner's going this way, there's a definite good possibility Disney goes this way too.
I don't know. I don't really want to see it. I don't want to see it go that direction, only because I think that it's kind of like how we say that you need this resellers, right? I mean, we need resellers to up the value of our pops, right? So without people selling these pops behind me, they never increase in value. They only go down. So if nobody's wanting it, it goes down. I think that it's going to hurt like a lot of things, and we're just not seeing the whole picture. I think that you're gonna see lots of things get hurt from it. Now, in that same sentence, that it's going to cause for a lot of people to reinvent things, right? So maybe instead of an ice cream truck, you see a popcorn truck, right? So there's lots of things that it can reinvent, but there's also lots of things that it's going to hurt at the same time. So it's.
And I agree with you, Barbarian. Yes, this is probably, if anything, it is a desperation move, but it's a smart move. It's actually what I predicted. In fact, I think I said it in a live chat about 6 months ago, that I believe that this is where the industry was going to go. This is back when they released Trolls on direct on video. This is the way of the world. If you want to put this as something similar, this is like the book, a regular hardbound book. This is like when books and Kindles came together, and you had a lot of people deciding, I'm going to start going digital. Everyone wants to go to the digital world. It's the same thing, but you're still going to have your core people. And then, I mean, what happened when everyone went digital? So many bookstores out there just shut their doors. It's going to be the same idea, but you're still going to have the diehards out there. They're going to want. There is something about a movie theater experience. I would have still enjoyed Endgame. But did I enjoy my movie theater experience being and watching it in the theater? Yes. I thought it was fantastic. But I think there's a lot of movies out there I could go, you know what, I'd rather watch it, get my own snacks in front of my TV and stuff like that. Because to be honest with you, if you think about it, the theaters kind of screwed themselves a little bit over the cost of snacks. Because now people are like, well, I can just pay the cost for the movie and I can do my own snacks.
Hey, look, I don't know. Look, we don't watch a lot of TV at the house, so I really enjoy going to the movie theater. And we have this whole like Regal card, and if you have this Regal card, you build points on it. So we get popcorn fairly cheap. I mean, our popcorn's really cheap. Sometimes we get like 2 Cokes for the price of 1. I mean, so I know that their concessions are overpriced, but that's kind of like been me and my wife's like date thing for a while. So that's one of them that I don't want to see go away. I mean, I don't want to see those go away. I want the bass to rattle in my seat. I want to have that over god awful big American of popcorn that has enough butter in it for anything that you fry. I mean, I just want that experience.
And don't get me wrong, before my wife and I have kids, I mean, that was one of our favorite date night things, was to go to the movies. We did that all the time. Now, again, since kids, I mean, luckily I was able to con my daughter into going to watch Endgame with me, and she didn't even last the whole movie. But but that was pretty much the last movie I saw in the theaters. I know we've seen some kid movies, but like I said, for a lot of those, if I can, for me as a parent of young children, if I can just watch it at home, I'll do it all day.
Right. Look, I'm with you, especially when you have smaller kids. It only makes sense to try and stay at home and watch things. It's just one of them that I hope doesn't go away for the sheer the fun of going out on a date with my wife and going to see a movie and go.
And I definitely agree with the vinyl figure fan. Definitely there are some movies that are made for the big screen. Big Star Wars movies, total big item.
Yeah,
big Avengers, and with Endgame, would you have? I don't know. I think, and for me, Endgame would have been good either way. But for that person that just wanted to see the superhero, I mean, did that make the difference for them being in the theaters rather than being in the house? Yeah, I'm sure.
Look, I Star Wars. I can tell you what my was when seeing birthday. That was the last movie. Seniors, I can't imagine seeing that for the first time. Such a big scene there at the end where they had all the ships in the sky and all of the fights going on at one time. So there's something about the theater that I just hope doesn't go away.
Well, there's definitely that experience because especially, I remember watching it the first weekend and, when that scene happened and you heard, Falcon through his palm and then you saw Black Panther come walking through that wall. I mean, you should have heard that theater erupt. And everyone started clapping, and it was like it was one of the coolest things. And then, of course, then when Tony snapped those fingers, you could look around that theater, and everybody's got them glassy eyes because that was one of the saddest scenes I've ever seen in my life. Yes, there is something about that classic movie feel. I mean, even you want to talk back in the day. I mean, I remember when Lord of the Rings came out. Would Lord of the Rings been as good if I didn't see it on the big screen? Oh, I would have much rather have seen that on the big screen. But I think but if there's a lot of movies that I wouldn't mind seeing come out that, do I matter either way? Probably.
When the Hulk grabbed Loki and went to slinging him back and forth like a rag doll. I mean, that was a great one. And I was reading the comment over here from Sunshine Toys. And
that was another one. Yeah,
that's what made me think of that when he grabbed Loki and went to tossing him around.
No, but he had said when Cap and that was a huge one. When you had Cap holding the Thor's hammer and holding there and go, you should have seen the entire theater erupted. It was crazy. But yeah, there is a whole different feel with that. I would agree, but. I mean, it also depends on how much you're willing to spend on your own entertainment system.
Right. Well, there's always that, right? I mean, there's always the you could have a home entertainment system that might get to the same level as the movie. You might even get better. Who knows? There's just something about that whole experience that I hope personally doesn't go away. I hope it doesn't.
I don't think it'll ever go away, but I think it's going to. I think it's going to it's just going to, like I said, it's going to be like the book type thing. You're going to have a lot of bookstores that are going to close, but you're going to have a lot of them that are going to stay open. You got the Barnes and Nobles, you got the whatever. You're still going to have some bookstores out there because there are going to be the people that want those hardbound books. You're still going to have that. But to be able to give the mainstream both options, man.
I think that we're just going to have to see how that one goes. I mean, you're just going to have to see what happens with that because what if they decided that because they're not putting them in the theaters that they can do lesser qualities? I mean, what if that becomes a thing? What if they're like, well, I can get away with B quality because
but do we? I mean, look at Mandalorian. I mean, to me, they're putting out a movie quality TV show
that is better than some movie quality. The Mandalorian is better than some movies.
To be 1,000% honest with you, especially if this takes off, because I foresee I am probably going to be one. I foresee a lot of people joining HBO Max. Knowing that in 2021, we're going to get the hottest Time Warner movies coming out, and we can do it from our own home. I'm for one. I think a lot of people are going to go to HBO Max for that reason, and I think it's going to be in there. But yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see what that one goes. I mean, we'll just have to see what happens. I think that there's going to be, like you said, there's going to be some upsides to it, but I think there's going to be some downsides as well. And the downsides are the ones that I'm worried about. I don't think that I'm going to be getting HBO Max because I think that everything I want to watch is either going to be on Netflix or Disney Plus. But you have to remember that The Mandalorian did something that nobody else is doing. So everybody else kind of is going to have to catch up with what they've done. They're not using green screens. They have a whole building that has one big LED curtain that runs all the way around it, so they're able to do things that nobody else has even thought of doing. And then here recently I was looking at their cuts, and I don't know if you ever, like, just because we upload and we edit our own stuff, it makes me look at the way other people are editing things as well. They are editing genius. I mean, they've got some genius out there that's editing their stuff.
You can understand why it takes them a year to put out 8 episodes.
Yeah, if you'll watch the last fight scene they did, now not last week's, but the week before that, I was watching just the way they were editing the fight scene. And if you'll notice, when he's getting punched, they're editing super fast. So it's a punch and then it's gone. When he's fighting, the edits slow down and drag out to give you that perception that he's winning the battle versus, so they're giving them very little time. They're giving him a lot of time. Look, I just watched it here recently and thought, man, they're genius.
Well,
they're
genius. I did go on because I know you and I briefly talked about Mando possibly being, if there's going to be a season 3. John Favreau already gave hints that they've already basically been given the green light.
Oh, did he really?
Season 3.
Oh,
he didn't say it in the same exact words, but he basically said they are ready to start going for another season.
Well, that makes me feel better. I feel a little bit better.
Do I think they're going to have a third season? Yes. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, it's what's bringing everybody to them, and especially now that Marvel's finally jumping in the fold, I think a lot of people are going to start jumping on Disney Plus, especially. And then, come on, Disney. Give us Black Widow. Just give it to us.
Yeah, you're on that Black Widow, aren't you?
Just give us Black Widow.
What do you think about what's the one that they just come out with, WandaVision? Is that one of them that you're going to be keeping up with?
Oh,
are you going to be on top of that one?
100%.
So I think I asked the other day, and it was just me. Was WandaVision a cartoon? Was it a comic book? Was it where did WandaVision come from?
I'm not sure the complete, and I know, in fact, JB may be able to answer that better than I would. But I know that there was a side comic of it. But it's from what I understand, this is all in Wanda's mind, really, from what I can grasp. And that's why you get such a different aspects of, especially when you look at the pops. So one of her is pregnant, one of her is wearing the actual original Scarlet Witch outfit, and then you got the black and white. It's all in her mind, because really, I have read some of the history of Scarlet Witch. In fact, some of the comics. Scarlet Witch, I mean, if you guys remember from Endgame, Scarlet Witch is incredibly powerful. I mean, she really almost, for the most part, took care of Thanos all by herself until he did Hellfire down. But, I mean, she could have taken Thanos down easily all by herself and not even touched him just with her powers. But Scarlet Witch, the story of Scarlet Witch does not end well by any means. It's not a happy ending, especially, and I think they're going to go that route and introduce with her kid and stuff like that. It doesn't end well by any means.
So you're saying that the main character doesn't have a really great ending? Is that what you're saying?
Scarlet Witch doesn't.
So a lot of this is made up in her head?
I think that's the premise they're going after. And Flash Ray maybe even has some up on me with that one. I didn't read the comics of if they had one based off of this, but from everything I've gathered with the series, this entire thing's in her head. Because remember, she's able to put these images into people's heads of different things, and she's still distraught over Vision's death, nonetheless. And so I think a lot of this is all in her head, and that's what we're gonna see. We may not see that, we may not understand that until maybe halfway into the season or longer. But I think that's where the premise of it goes.
So it makes me think of a lot of a Deadpool. So I'm gonna have to check out at least the first episode to see if it's something that I can get into or not. Do you know when that's supposed to release? I see that you're reading the side conversations over.
Yeah,
I was just about to get you in there, but do you know when WandaVision's supposed to release?
December 20th.
December 20th.
2 days after Mandalorian finishes up.
December 20th. That's my birthday. So do you see that Flash Ray and Bearded Barbarian?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to catch up on.
I kind of been like just reading their conversation as we were talking, and I was getting a good laugh out of it. I was trying hard not to. Bearded Barbarian said Disney's going to literally reach into your couch and get every quarter. But I'm starting to think that the Bearded Barbarian's not really into Disney. Is kind of what I'm getting out of that. And you know, they say when you get older that you start doing like this whole like hatred toward Disney. So I'm thinking that must be what's going on there.
But Flash Ray, when we talk about the HBO Max, I'm okay with it still being on there for the first 30 days because that means I can watch it when it first comes out. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, I've seen, and then HBO and then yeah, that's the oh, trust me, Disney will find any way to get every penny out of your pocket, and they are good at it.
They're having a whole war going on over there.
Yeah, there we go. Jesse Lou kind of answered that a little bit. Yeah, Scarlet Witch has reality warping abilities, but I think to be honest, I think she's warping
kind of like Freddy Krueger
herself.
I mean, are we talking about Freddy Krueger? I mean, is that what's going on? She kind of has her Freddy Krueger powers going on. She gonna creep you out in the middle of the night.
She could easily.
I'm gonna have to check it out just because it sounds a lot like some Deadpool stuff to me. So I'm gonna have to check it out and see if I get a good laugh out of it.
And yes, Disney is buying everything. The only thing I would personally like to see Disney eventually buy, and they have enough money to do it, even with everything still going on. Is I was really hoping when they did the whole Spider-Man thing, is that they were going to buy Sony. I was hoping they were going to buy Sony. What is he going on about? I'm getting a Disney tattoo on my butt, hoping it was sponsored for advertising space. Probably not.
You should reach out to them and say, hey, look, if I get one on my butt, are y'all gonna pay for it? Oh man, I don't know what's wrong with y'all some days. Oh, that's too funny. It's too funny.
Okay, that's right. Flash Ray, you're more on the Star Wars. Jesse, I think of Jesse Lou, I know, has read some of the stories with Wanda. So they're taking a couple of stories and blending them together. Yeah.
So yeah, Jesse Lou, is WandaVision a comic book, or was it a cartoon, or what was it? You know, because I know a lot of times when it comes to Marvel and it comes to DC and even when it comes to Star Wars, because I'm now starting to feel like they all kind of like intertwine in some way, whether it's through the writers or through the directors, because we know that they all kind of intermingle and they move around to different ones depending on where they're needed. And I just recently learned this. Was it a comic book? Was it a video game? Was it a cartoon?
I can't answer. I don't know.
Where did it come from? I mean, where's the origin behind it? I mean, so I'm just kind of curious to know that. I mean, if it came from a cartoon, I'd like to go watch one of them.
For me, there's a gap. There's a gap in what my knowledge of Wanda, of where, you know, up to a certain point, and then I know her end, and the end doesn't. I mean, she goes crazy because of her kid, and she kills off some well sought after characters.
You mean like that's in the story with her? So is she another Marvel realm? Is she another part of the Marvel verse, or is she going to kind of be like
she's part of the MCU? Yeah.
Okay, but is she really? So when we say like Marvel verse, I think Deadpool really doesn't fall into the Marvel verse. Now he's a Marvel character, but to me he's kind of like one of those side stories up over here somewhere.
No, not if you talk about his origins. I mean, he came out in New Mutants, and he was more or less within the X-Men realm for his early part of the Marvel universe.
I guess maybe I'm saying it wrong, so I'm going to see if I can figure out how I'm saying it. He's a side story. He's not necessarily like the main. He wasn't the main focus of Marvel. He was a side story of Marvel over here, right? And then you had the X-Men, and you had the other characters that were the main part of Marvel, and he was just a side part.
Yeah, so I mean, he eventually got his own series. I mean,
eventually,
every great character has to get introduced in another series to bring them in. and he eventually got his own series. And I mean, we all know, especially we're not losing Deadpool by any means in the movie realm, because Ryan Reynolds just signed one of the biggest contracts in MCU history.
Well, you know me. I've as soon as they like started to talk about a leak of a third one, I'm all on top of that one, and I'll probably be all on top of that one for 3 years. You said it the other day that it was going to be 2022, and it's probably going to be 2023, and I'm going to be all on top of it until they come out with it.
My prediction for Deadpool 3 is going to be 2022, but you're going to see Deadpool be in other movie characters, maybe not their origin stories, but you're going to see him in multiple things. Now, this is just my my prediction, but I think we're the first Ryan Reynolds Disney entry we're going to see of Deadpool is in the Shang-Chi movie. That's just my prediction. I could be completely wrong, but that's where I think we're going to see the first one.
You think that's where we're going to see him at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to see him, of course, you're not going to see him in Black Widow, because this Black Widow is a prequel right after Civil War. You're not going to see him in the movie. You're not going to. I don't think you're really going to see him in the TV show versions of stuff. And then of course, the next one after this is going to be the Eternals. The Eternals history is far before any of this stuff has ever happened. So that's why I say Shang-Chi should be the next one that I think he's going to be on. Of course, I know I would agree with Jesse. He's definitely going to be in Doctor Strange. I think you're going to see so many characters in Doctor Strange into the multiverse, because that's really, I think, that movie right there is going to drop the bomb on Phase 4 and kind of build the next two phases after that.
Yeah, I mean, time will tell, and they tend to do that a lot when they're going to come out with another movie, right? You get little like snippets here and there of the character that you're going to see next year or the year after that. But when it comes to Deadpool, there's so many opportunities to shove him in scenes of the movie. I mean, they could shove him at the end credits doing some stupid dances. I mean, there's so many opportunities to shove him in.
That's just like Red said. I think Deadpool could be the new Stan Lee, and I do agree. Because, of course, when he talks about that, is basically Stan always had his cameos, his small cameos in every movie. Yep. It's a very good possibility. Yeah, you do see Deadpool in the background of something, or you never know. Ryan Reynolds is a master. I mean, there's nobody else that could play that character.
I don't think there was nobody that could have pulled that character off right, and not the way he did. He makes that character. I mean, I don't think Deadpool will ever be the same without him. That's for sure.
I would agree.
That is definitely for sure. And I guess it's right. I mean, they could slide him in there. I remember when Stan Lee would get slid in movies, and it was just fun trying to figure out where he was at. I mean, in the Incredible Hulk, he came in as a what do you call them, a rent-a-cop? In the Incredible Hulk, he kind of slid in there as a rent-a-cop. It was always cool to see where he slid in.
And the Captain America, First Avenger. He was the museum guard, which is I want him in one of my top 10 Funko Pops that I really, really want. Now I had to get real back to this. We said that Red and Bearder was talking about. I want to say if Ghost Rider was going to be the new Doctor Strange. Hopefully they do a better job. I agree with you. I would like to see a new Johnny Blaze. I think Nicolas Cage did all right in the first one. The second one was horrible. And he also said Mandalorian had recently been renewed for 5 seasons.
Look, I hope those rumors are true, but I'd also heard rumors that the actor that plays the Mando was upset that he wasn't getting enough FaceTime. That they had given him the one time that he showed his face, and that he was upset that they weren't showing his face more.
He's portraying a character that has the oldest beliefs that you don't remove your helmet.
I agree. Look, I agree.
You got to know what you're playing before you sign up for this.
There was rumors that he was upset that they weren't showing his face enough, and that he was going to quit if they didn't start showing his face. So look, I don't know. I hope that they worked all of that out, and that maybe it was just rumors. You never know when you're hearing some of that stuff. Let me see. I hope that they come out.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, okay. I do agree with you, Red. Don't need Johnny Blaze anymore. Need Johnny Ketch. Yeah, I agree with you. I think if they're gonna do Blade, and although I always loved the Blade versions with why can't I think of his name right now? Who did Blade?
God, who did the Blade the movie?
Yeah, that was Wesley Snipes.
That's fixing
He did fantastic, but I think this new guy is going to be even better. So I think Marvel does very well at casting. Aside from DC movies, Marvel does very well at casting.
What does that mean aside from DC movies? What did that even mean?
Do I have to drop it in this?
Yeah,
in this
you
live?
have to drop.
I usually save that bashing for Techbot After Dark, but I have
Oh man, you've got to give this guy a chance. You have to. You just have to give this guy a chance. You got to let him fail before you start talking about how he's gonna fail. I mean, you got to give him a little bit of a chance before you go completely out on it.
As far as Keanu, I think we are going to see Keanu in an MCU role, but I have not heard Ghost Rider. I've heard Keanu for a villain role as well as or a hero role. Who knows? Keanu has been rumored for so many different roles. Do I think he will end up in the MCU at some point? Yes. Where I couldn't tell you.
I mean, look at how good DC did with the whole Suicide Squad casting. I mean, they couldn't have gotten a better cast if they had tried. I mean, they had Will Smith. Who else did they need?
I think the only reason I think that Suicide Squad 2 is going to be good is one, I think they have a good lineup. I think it would have been better if they would have brought Will Smith back. But I think the fact that James Gunn is directing that movie is going to make it that much better. To be honest,
I hope so. It would be about time for them to like pick up their movie making skills.
I thought Wesley Snipes was already out of prison.
I didn't know Wesley Snipes was in prison, but if he was, it was for tax evasion
or something or other.
Tax evasion. If it's anything, it was tax evasion. So there was when he got done with the whole Blade movies, he owed a couple of million in taxes. He decided he was going to like put on a wig and try and get on a plane and go to another country to avoid paying the taxes. It was a whole like stink. I don't know why.
I thought he already finished his time for that, but I could be wrong.
I did too. I thought that he had already like served whatever it was that he had to do, but I don't know. I don't.
But I agree with Bearded on this. I think at this point, Keanu has built himself a career that he could pretty much be in anything he wants to be.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
This is a good question. Have you seen this? Actually, you know what? Have you seen this trailer? First of all,
I have not. I have not seen this trailer.
Chase, we're going to leave this for Techbot After Dark. But I think that goes in a whole different talking about the Spider-Verse. And we will get into the Spider-Verse. I think, again, that's more of a Marvel movie, stuff like that. But what is he going into? As soon as he got out of prison. Okay. So, yeah, he is done with his prison time. He was in Expendables 3. He finished up right after that.
Yeah. What did you I don't know. There's some whole like nonsense going on with the Expendables right now, but that's neither here nor there.
By the way, they talking about doing another one?
No. Arnold Schwarzenegger went on one of the Tonight shows and was talking trash about what's his face? I can't even think of his name. Played Rocky. No, Sylvester Stallone. That's it. Was talking trash that he convinced him to play the worst role ever or something. I don't know. There's some that we'll never see another Expendables now. I mean, it's done. Even though I like the Expendables, we'll never see another one because the cast now is so like divided that it's retarded.
Well, because it originally got put together just because there was a bunch of old action hero movie people put together that wasn't really being put in movies as much, and it was just put together as something cool to do, and then it became very popular.
Yep.
So then everybody wanted their cut, and everyone just became popular. And like I said, I think it was just completely.
Yeah, they messed that up. They've completely messed that up.
So,
but hey, what do you have going on next week that you want to talk about? What do you got going on? Anything at all? Or are you getting big giveaways coming up? Any?
No, I don't know about giveaways other than the Patreon giveaway. That I don't think we've talked about a date yet, but that should be coming up in the next couple weeks. I do have a couple items. Of course, I've got my Funko box coming in. I've got some other mystery boxes I've done, and I've got my collectible swap, or like Christmas swap, whatever they called it, that I will be releasing on the 8th, because apparently there are so many people that they're spacing out all the video releases throughout next week. So mine will be on the 8th is when mine's supposed to drop for that collectible item swap, whatever they're calling it. I don't really know.
What do you mean release? What? I don't understand. I don't follow.
Remember, we've done the collectible swap, and this was supposed to be more of like a Secret Santa type thing this time around. It originally started with a small bunch of people, and then the first time I got into it was, I guess the second go round, there was like, I don't know, I think there was like 24 people, and then the third time it was like 40 people, and then this time I think we're up to about 60 or more channels that are partaking in this, and so they figure with 60 channels, it may be beneficial for everybody if they spread out who drops the videos on what days.
Oh, yeah. It sounds way too complicated for me.
Oh, there's 80 channels in this one.
80 channels in this one. Yeah, there's a lot of people in that one. It sounds overly complicated for me, and my brain can't keep up with
things. This may possibly be my last one, just because like I said, it's getting overly complicated and stuff like that. So this may be my last one.
Like it's my little brain can't keep up with stuff like that. So have you picked your pop for the Patreon only giveaway yet? I have not picked the one that I'm going to be throwing in there yet.
Not yet.
Which is surprising, because I normally know exactly which one's going in there, and I haven't figured it out yet. Yeah,
that one I haven't figured out quite yet. But I you know me. Sometimes I release it beforehand. Sometimes I don't. It's all going to depend on what I find, and because there's sometimes I might have an idea, and then I go out and all of a sudden I find something else. I'm like, ooh, no, I'm going to give this one out instead. So it's going to be worthwhile.
I haven't figured it out yet.
Maybe it's the red Mando. I don't know.
I'm going to figure it out yet. He said it might be the red Mando. I'm going to throw something at you. Oh, you'll be glad I can't throw something through the screen. You'd be dodging stuff. You're like this. Oh man!
I mean, I've got a nice little, and I can shift these easily and put Carnage right on it.
Yeah. I know somebody's got two of them. I know somebody's got two of their Carnages, two of the Miles Moraleses. You know what? At some point, I started grabbing two of stuff because I figured that I was going to have to put them in a Patreon only giveaway at some point. Mr. Bearded Barbarian. I'm trying to find where he says the glowworm customized.
It says right here, Wayne, you should put in glowwormy customized to wormy.
I've thought about throwing in some custom pops in there somewhere, but I don't know that I'm gonna right now. I have a couple of good ones coming in for the Patreon only giveaway. If you're not a part of that, guys, y'all should head down to the description somewhere down there. I think it's somewhere down there. Y'all should head over there and check those out. They're a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing them. I have a couple of pops that are most likely going to end up in it, and I haven't pulled the trigger. I think it's going to depend on what the red Mandalorian's going to cost me.
Spirit Spider.
Why am I
not remembering that one right now?
I don't know what a Spirit Spider is. I also need to. What is a Spirit Spider? I like the zombie worm chase. That one sounds a lot more than the wormy customization.
Oh, okay.
Zombie worm.
Is that the Ghost Rider? Yeah, the Spirit Spider. That was, I guess, it's after a video game, Spider-Man video game in 2018. Right now, it's selling online for about $25.
Spirit Spider. That's interesting.
It was a game reverse Spirit Spider, I guess. Yeah, it looks like a white Spider-Man with a flaming skull head.
That's weird. That's if anybody's gonna have it though, it'll be my Walgreens. I mean,
I like this one right here. It'd be a zombie worm.
A zombie worm. I thought about it. I could probably sit down and do that. I don't really know how though. I'd have to figure out I might have to take pieces out of him to do that. Make it look like he's gotten bit a few times or something. I mean, I'd have to really sit down and play with that one. I actually got two of those though, and I still haven't done a video on them. I might not ever do a video on them, to be honest.
So let me ask you real quick. So we know we still got weeks till Christmas. Do you think we're going to see anything really new come out of Funko before Christmas?
No, I would like to, but I don't think that we are. They're in their like 12 days of Christmas right now, which is what I think they were making up for with the Cyber Monday. And I was going to kind of talk about that earlier. I think that they're trying to make up for the whole Cyber Monday not happening with the whole like 12 days of Christmas. I know that we're 4 days in, and we just seen their first drop in the 12 days of Christmas. I think we might, maybe if we're lucky, see one more. But if we're being honest, I think Funko's having financial problems. I mean, if we're just being honest, I think that financially something's going on. Adult glowworm. Yeah, no, I don't.
No.
Hey, it definitely sounds like something that they should be talking on Techbot After Dark. I mean, I mean,
no.
Oh,
let's go. That's over that line.
If we're being honest, I think Funko is in some kind of financial problems. I'm hoping that they're ending this year without having a whole lot of inventory, and that's what I think they're trying to do. I think they're trying to make sure they have very little inventory come the end of this year. I'm hoping that that's what they're doing, and then we'll see them have the strong presence come next year after they've gotten a huge tax break from all the money they lost this year. I'm hoping that's what we see. If not, we'll see some weird stuff going on, but if nothing else, it'll slow down how much stuff they're putting out at one time.
Well, I think the big tell is going to be, of course, I think in January is when well, it may not happen this year, but usually is when they have that big toy convention where they release a lot of the next year's lineup, stuff like that. So I think come January is when we're going to really see possibilities of what's going to come on, because, I think they're still going to release, what's to come in the following year, but of course it's not going to be at a convention by any means, but I think they'll do it in some sort of way to go there. But I mean, they've definitely started regurgitating models a lot more, and different items of there. But I don't know. You never know. I've been surprised by stuff sometimes where Funko seems to pull stuff out of their butt. What I would like to see, to be honest with you, and I don't have any, but I really, really like the idea of it, is I would really like to see, yes, Chase, no more chromes. I would agree with that. But I would really like to see more artist series stuff.
Me too. I really want to see more artist series stuff, but I want them to start naming the artist.
I would too.
When they're doing it. I mean, they had that whole like Ron English piece they did last year. I can't remember when they did it last year, but they had a whole Ron English piece, which is Mona Lisa with the smiley face. I thought that was super cool. I missed out on that one. They've had a few other Ron English pieces, but I'd like to see them go to some of the other sculptors. There's a lot of other toy sculptors out there, or designer plastics. So I guess toys not.
If it's something like what they've done with like that Bugs Bunny one, the two that they're releasing for the Mickey Fantasia one, the artist ones. I mean, to me, do something like that. I think, especially even that Bugs Bunny one, it was simple, but it was a really cool, something different than we're used to having. And I think people are having fun with collecting those, but you got to keep the numbers low.
Right. Well, that's kind of the problem with those, is they're not giving you a number on them. They're just kind of releasing them out there, and you don't really know. It could be 50,000. It could be 100,000. I had it figured out at one time that they were running about 50,000 of each. Not 50,000. They were running about 100,000 is what they were running. If I had it calculated in my head right, that's what they were doing. But they've gotten smarter with the way they're running them. They have broke the pop down into, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, 6 pieces sometimes, so they can change the bodies with just changing the arms. I mean, they have got this figured out, where they have broke it down into so many pieces that they could change the sculpt of what they're doing very easy. But that's also a double-sided sword. That means you own a whole bunch of molds. So
I think if they went artist series, you're not really losing. I mean, I think it's a benefit to Funko, because you are basically using the same exact molds that you already have, like the Bugs Bunny and the Mickey Mouse ones, and even the Star Wars ones. You're using the same mold. You're just making it look different. And I think that even if people had, a lot of they had the Boba Fett artist series, stuff like that.
I missed all of those, unfortunately.
I did too, but I think if people wanted them, because maybe they have the regular Boba Fett, but now they got these two artist series ones or R2D2. They've got these multiple R2D2s, but they're making money because it's the same damn mold,
right?
but they look different and people want them.
I agree. I like them. Look, I like them, but I'm with you. I wish that they would drop the numbers on them. I wish they would. And I know, this is one of those conversations where some people are going to be like, "Oh, there shouldn't be numbers on them," and then some of us are going to say, "I do." And then some of us are going to say there should be. I think there should be. I'm okay with there being a number on there because it tells me that if there's only 2,000 out there, that the odds of my collection going down in value are very slim. Right. So I like to play those odds numbers. If there's 200,000 of them made, the odds of it going down are very high. So I like the fact that they put numbers on them. And then if I don't get it, I don't get it. And
if you're going to do a common, release high numbers. We all expect that from a common, but something like an artist series or a special edition or something, I think they need to be limited.
Yeah, I mean, just make them limited. But I would like them to point out the artist. I would like to know who the artist is. Is it just down the road? Huh?
Yeah. I think definitely giving the artist credit for each one and putting that on the box. Put that on the box somewhere. I think would be fantastic.
I mean, have his stamped signature on there and say that this was so and so. Put his face on the back. You know, there's all kinds of things they could do that I think would really like heighten that line, and they should. I mean, whether they're going to or not, I don't know. That's one of those things. We're gonna have to see how Funko pulls out this year. If they can pull out this year, then I don't think we'll ever have this conversation again.
I don't think so.
They pulled out in a horrible year. But if they don't pull out this year, for all we know, Funko will become Funko Hasbro. I mean, so hey, I don't think that they'll ever completely go away. There's too many other big companies out there that would be more than happy to have all of the license agreements that they have. I mean, so I don't ever see them totally going away, but I can see them becoming JCPenney Funko or Sears Funko.
And I agree with Bearded Barbarian. He says you got to have limited pops or they're not collectibles. Right. I agree with that, but I think they need to have more limited series than they're doing now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, the fact that they snuck in this 3,000 piece set today, I give them like mad props for. They snuck it in there, but they should sneak more of those in there. They should definitely sneak more of those in there. I mean, that should become a pretty common thing. And I'm kind of hoping that in the 12 days of Funko that they release another one at some point that's a limited piece run. Now, if I don't get it, I don't get it. And I'm okay with that. If I do get it, then I get it. I mean, the way they did that one was such a crapshoot that if you would have picked up the Mickeys and not that one, you missed out. If you would have picked, I mean, so they fixed that one in such a way that I'm okay with the way they did it.
Well, you get going with Bearded's comment right there. I mean, that's no different than what the comic book scene has done. I mean, they bring out one comic, but sometimes they bring in different artists to do 6 different variant covers.
Yeah.
Why not do the same thing for a Funko Pop?
Well,
you bring out the original and then make all the other ones very limited. That people would love to do variant versions.
Well, I like the Chase. I mean, it's like the Chase version, kind of.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm hoping that we see them do it. I think that all of that will come out in the near future, and we'll see what they're doing.
Well, what you got coming out this week, bud?
I don't know. You know, I can't remember these things. Hey, I filmed. I'm so far ahead right now that I'm almost 2 weeks ahead. So next week, I think I got JKL's box that came in. Chase sent me some minis. I got that video with JKL's. Other than that, I really don't know. I got a really awesome Deadpool at some point that'll be coming out.
I just realized I've got another Disney video, I think, coming out next week or the week after that.
Yeah, then I've got, I don't really know. I've got some decent ones coming out. I kind of like the fact that I've got so far out in advance because now I'm able to like pick apart what I really want to do, and if I kind of want to like get a little crazy with what I'm doing. So, I mean, it gives me the chance to just do like strange stuff. I mean, like I've got a soda one coming up, not this week, and I think it's the end of next week. That's pretty cool. So I don't really know anymore. There's something is coming up at some point, and as things like released, then I just like push other stuff even further back. So They're out there somewhere. Just check me out next week. Make sure to go check out my Facebook though, because I'm destined to get like put back in Instagram jail. So if you're on here right now, go check out my Facebook. Make sure you follow me there. That way, when I get put back in Instagram jail, I still have a way of communicating. And if I keep it up, I know that eventually I'll get put in Facebook jail. It's just who I am as a person. So don't like hold it.
You got to push those boundaries.
It's just who I am as a person. It will eventually happen again. Every time I'm on Instagram now and I start to reply to somebody, I'm like, and I'm like, well, nope, don't do it. Just delete.
I try not to get in any battles with nobody.
I just don't anymore because people tattle on me, and then I go to Instagram jail.
I'll throw a shout out to our buddy Red. He does have a special video coming out tomorrow, so I'll be looking forward to checking that out. Fish oil can help your memory, Wayne, and calcium for your old bones, buddy.
Yeah, I mean that's what they tell me, but I'm just gonna grind it out. I'm just gonna grind it out. I'm not gonna worry about the fish oil if it doesn't have beer involved in it. I did pick up some beer the other day from my local brewery that said it had some CBD in it, so they tell me that stuff's good for memory too. I don't know. I'll drink it and tell you, Bearded, if I remember what I did before I drank it. I'll let you know if that one sharpens my memory at all.
Wow.
I don't think
this show just went there.
He said the show just went there. I'll let you know. The girl that sold it to me, she told me at first it had THC in it. And I said, oh God, don't give me that. Whatever you do.
It probably gives you the munchies. Going on there.
But you know.
Yeah, so we got all kinds of stuff. I did, you know, what's funny is I did that Epcot video, and I walked on the entire day with that camera, and it didn't bother me. In fact, what's funny is I would walk around and you see some people waving because I could basically tell I was doing something like that.
Right.
So
you definitely need to get you a
I know.
gimbal though. Gimbals aren't really expensive anymore. I mean, you can pick them up for like $50 if you go on Amazon. They have one of them that starts with a Z, and I can't remember the name. It starts with a Z. It's like $50-$60. Look, I own that one. Super good gimbal. I love it. Yeah. I was concerned about the price of it because it was such a budget gimbal. It works great for me and what I do. So I mean, go check those out. You'll really like your gimbal, and it adds. It adds some extra like no shake to the camera that you're really going to be looking for, especially if you're out there walking.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun though. We took the kids had fun. Got some real good snacks, stuff like that. So I mean, it was enjoyable.
I like that one. I think you should do stuff like that more often. I mean, take advantage of your surroundings. I mean, if you look at all the great like vlogging channels out there, they all are just taking an advantage of where they're at. Take advantage of where you're at. I mean, look, it just they built it. You show it off.
Might as well.
You know, might as well. Hey, so you ready to get out of here? I know you got to get back on here soon.
Yep, get a little bit of break, and then we'll be back at 9 o'clock with Chase's Kingdom with us today, talking about the upcoming possible death of the movie theater. On Techbot After Dark, and we will continue our conversation with that, as well as getting to. I like staying in the Marvel universe. As well as I don't know what I'm going to do when that Batman movie actually comes out and what I'm going to have to bash, but I'm sure I'll find more things.
I'm sure you'll find more things. You're going to blame him for the costume and all. You're going to be like, look at that sorry costume he made. He didn't make that.
Bad costume.
He didn't make that.
Bad Batmobile. Bad everything.
Look how bad he made that Batmobile look. You're going to have to give him some credit. But you got to lend him an opinion before you make one. So lend him a little bit of an opinion before you make one. Just a little bit. I don't care if he's a good Batman or not.
We'll see. Like I said, when that movie comes out, I'm either going to be, I'm either going to look a fool or I'm going to look a genius.
It's going to be one or the other. Guys. Don't forget tomorrow. We'll be live at 3:30 doing the Mandalorian review. I don't know who's going to be there. They'll just show up.
I'm going to try, but I may be on mobile.
That'll be fine. Just come over, hang out with us. Make sure you watch it though before you come and hang out with us, because as Chris said one day, that it's just one big spoiler. So if you haven't watched it, you're just gonna have one big spoiler. Don't come watch it. So come check us out on Saturday. It's a lot of fun, and I'll make sure that I come over there and check y'all out after I've been drinking some of that hemp beer. Look, I've been talking about that all day. It's almost like I'm doing something wrong. It's like I'm gonna go grab me some of that hemp beer.
But anyways, guys, do not forget to smash that like button down below. We always appreciate it. If you have not hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And always leave us comments because we always enjoy reading any comments that you guys give us. But other than that, it's another edition of WayneTech Experience. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we will see y'all next week.
Have a good one, guys.
Later.